We are live on the line with the man they call J Trigga. How are you doing this morning, sir?
Oh, good. How are you doing out there? How's
good.
Brighton?
I'm good, sir. I'm good. So just let us know where you're calling in from this morning, because this is a madness.
I'm out here. I'm in China, Shenyang to be specific. Shenyang City, up north.
Wow. Okay. Cool. So obviously with yourself, then we're going to get into a bit of background. And with this show, we have a real kind of varied group of guests, obviously from different musical backgrounds and different sort of styles and genres and stuff like that. So a question I really like to open up with a lot of the time when we are doing these interviews on the Breakfast Show is, for those that don't know, who is J Trigga?
That's a dope question. All right, so J Trigga is a young Zambian artist currently based in China for like uni and all. Yeah, but I'm an artist that does a wide range of music, ranging from hip hop to Afrobeats. But like my main focus has been the Afrobeats this year.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Just a short summary.
Cool. No, that's cool, man. That gives us loads to kind of dive into and obviously get into a bit of a kind of breakdown of things. So obviously, musical, like kind of influence wise, what was the kind of thing that really, really pushed you into wanting to make music when you were younger then?
Kanye West, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, Kanye West always believed in himself, and I was always this shy kid in the corner, not doing much, till I came across Kanye, and just inspired me to go forward with my dreams. Then came across artists like Nasty C, seeing someone young doing it, and of course Wizkid, Davido, just putting Africa on the map, and that just inspired me to go further with it.
Amazing, man, amazing. So kind of just to kind of break it down then, how have you found that move to kind of China in regards to making music? Is there much of a scene popping for the sort of Afrobeat sound over there?
Well, it's still growing. When I first came here, it was really dull. You know, no one was really checking for Afrobeats. Most clubs play like heavy hip hop. You know, the Migos, the international type thing. But as many foreigners started to come to China, it became a bigger thing. Like more Nigerians came here, more Tanzanians came through. So now the Afrobeat scene is slowly growing, and we have artists like Ice Prince coming through here. We had Kiss Daniel the other year. You know, so it's growing. I think it's going to be somewhere in the next 2 years, I guess.
Okay, cool. That's quite interesting to hear, because obviously, like, we over in the UK, we don't really kind of know what's kind of going on the underground in China. I feel we kind of listen into the sort of stuff that kind of translates over here, and we often see people going on tour over there, but we never really know kind of like what's going on the underground. So it's quite good to get a bit of an insight from you on that. I mean, obviously on the studying side of things as well, how did you find the move in general?
It was hard. To be honest, it's like totally moving from. It's a wild culture shock, because you're moving from Africa down south, to be precise, and then you're moving to China. So starting from the food, the language, everything just has to switch up, you know. But we got there. We got there with time. I'm now like used to this place. I've been here for like 5 years now. So.
Wow. Okay. Cool. So I mean, it's really interesting to kind of break down, because obviously I've always found that idea of essentially emigrating to be quite like a major thing in regards to kind of like musical setup and stuff like that. How did you find kind of working on studio spaces and stuff like that? Do you tend to do everything yourself from home, or is it a case of finding kind of local studios?
Well, yeah, from time to time I do visit like local studios to do part-time jobs with mixing and mastering, like helping them out. But I usually do everything from my room, from my dorm room. Most of my hits have been done from my room, so yeah. And they don't really, you know, that they are mostly pop-oriented engineers here. So getting your voice right and a standard would be. It gets kind of tricky to explain with them, so you would rather just get a recording done and mix it from your place or something.
Definitely,
or send it out, you know.
Definitely, man. Yeah, that makes
African producers.
I was going to say that makes sense, and it must be quite cool then to kind of be making this kind of sound that is part of what's currently like on the up over there. It must be kind of cool to be almost like ahead of the curve.
True True that. And with time, I'm telling you, Asia is gonna catch on. When Asia catches on, it's a mad thing still.
Definitely. No, 100%, man. I mean, we've seen it across the dance music world. It's obviously one of the main places people like to go when they are touring, in electronic music specifically. And it's just crazy, man. I do feel there is a bit of an untapped market there for a lot of different genres. But once you're in, I do feel you are very much in. So kind of moving forward,
You're right.
Obviously, kind of you've been working on music now for a hot minute. Like, how's the last 12 months been for you in regards to making and releasing?
It's been tricky, but I've been ready for such because it's all about having content, so content has been ready. So it's been quite tricky, to be honest. Like, this year has been, well, enlightening to some extent because we all didn't see it coming. But we've been able to navigate and plan out a few more other things, It has actually helped me prepare for next year because I didn't really have much set out, like the performances and everything this year. So, yeah.
Okay, cool. That's quite interesting. Like in regards to sort of like live shows and stuff like that. I mean, are you someone that enjoys playing out live? Are you someone that likes to be on stage?
Oh, I love it. I think I love being on stage more than anything else because it's like a direct message. It's a direct connection to the fans. The energy is crazy.
Definitely, man.
So, I do miss going outside.
I think it's the interesting thing on it is I feel that it's very difficult to replace a kind of live scenario. It's very difficult to replace that kind of live energy, the idea of interacting with the crowd, even like the sound of the room. It's all very difficult to recreate. So
almost impossible.
It is almost impossible, and I feel there are a lot of artists now currently like trying to compensate through doing live stuff. But I feel to a certain point, you people do just kind of have to wait until things go back to some level of normality, at least.
Some level, yeah, and I'm starting to see some slow, a gradual opening of places though. Out here, things have been opened. So
okay,
yeah.
Very interesting.
Slowly,
okay, cool.
We get in there.
Definitely, I think so, man. I think so. And kind of moving forward, then we're going to get into a couple of tunes today that you have sent over, which I'm really looking forward to getting into. This first track on today's listing goes by the name of Vanish. So talk to me about this tune. How did it come together?
Vanish was it's a tropical vibe, Afrobeat type combination. I was really just trying to find a new sound, different from any other artist in the country where I'm from, and at the same time, I was paying homage to a legendary group from the country. It's called The Third, so it was a good blend, and the ladies seem to love it.
Amazing, man, amazing. Like when you're making music, then obviously you spoke there about it being almost like a tribute to this group. Do you often find yourself when you're building stuff? Do you often find yourself comparing to other artists?
Not comparing per se, but I tend to find inspiration in like classic music, like old stuff. In most of it, I don't really listen to current music, to be honest. I'm more 90s, 80s oriented, so that's why I drive like that. That's what helps my pen, just the way music was back then was so raw and so emotional. Yeah, so that really helps my pen. I don't really compare myself to other artists because I feel I am different in my own way, so yeah.
There we go. Yeah, interesting, man. It's kind of cool to hear you break it down as well. We are going to get into this tune now then. This one does go by the name of Vanish. Before we do get into this, though, I want to make sure we are getting as much kind of information out of you as possible whilst we've got you on the line this morning. So what is the best social media tag for people to get hold of you on?
Instagram, Trigga official. Twitter, we have Trigga, capital O at the end. And then Facebook, Trigga official too.
There we go. Amazing,
make
man.
Sure you follow up.
Wicked, man. Wicked. Well, we're going to get into this tune now then. We are live on Trickstar Radio. Make sure you are going and downloading that Trickstar Radio app from the App Store, people. It is free, and you can message into the show and let us know how you're feeling, obviously, with the schedules, and everything's on there. It's all good. And alongside that, make sure you are subscribing to youtube.com/CubCamTV. Plenty of good stuff on the way at KXVU, at Trickstar BTN as well. We're live inside the building. Man like Trigga is on the line. This one goes by the name of Vanish. Oh, yes.